And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of New Earth TV Live. So I'm very happy to be with you all here today. I'm going to be doing a little bit more of a clarity in regards to my messages here very shortly after the announcements. Then we're going to get into some mass meditation. Then we're going to do some healing. Then we're going to get into some general Q&A. But first and foremost, we'll go ahead and get started with some announcements. Beautiful, sacred geometrical clothing, apparel, and accessories imbued with spirit source energy to heal, rejuvenate, detoxify, and strengthen the body. Shop now at healingcodeshop.com.
The latest revelation in alternative healing has arrived. The Healing Code Cards, a spiritual technology unlike anything else. Through the power of sacred geometry imbued with pure source energy, physical ailments can become eliminated and detoxified from your body. 36 cards specifically designed to work on the major areas of the body, encouraging natural recovery and increased vitality. Working with the cards are easy, and their healing results are profound. Download our collection of free sample cards so you can experience results for yourself. And don't forget to view our customer testimonials. Our printed Healing Code card deck is available now with shipping available worldwide. Visit our website at healingcodecards.com.
And of course, private sessions are available, 15, 30, and 45-minute sessions, including the 3-question email sessions that are done offline. So you can go ahead and book newearthteachings.com. As I've talked about, I'm going to be doing sessions up to about September 30th. After that, I'll be taking a bit of a hiatus from private sessions for the rest of the year, because I'm going to be focusing a lot on teaching the students and also working on some new projects with the Healing Code cards at the same time. So if you do want to do a session with me, again, I'm currently available around the time of August, so you can book then. And like I said, it's good up until the end of September. So again, 15, 30, and 45-minute sessions are available, and the 3-question email sessions are available. So let's go to newearthteachings.com. You'll see the rates there on the website. And of course, this is happening this weekend, Kundalini and Inner Practices Weekend Retreat. I'm looking forward to that. I actually forgot to take that ad down now. So I'm pretty much ready to go with that Kundalini and Inner Practices Weekend Retreat this Saturday and Sunday on Vancouver Island in BC. We still have a few spots left, but if you guys do want to contact me, just you can feel free to email me here at info@newearthteachings.org. If you are in the area and you do want to get admission for the weekend retreat, feel free to contact me. There are still a couple spots available. And of course, everything on New Earth Teachings is backed up through our Odyssey channel. So the website is odyssey.com/@newearthteachings. You can feel free to go there and follow along if you like. Okay, so we're going to firstly start off just in regards to an announcement I have relating to the last New Earth Insights. Okay, and I wanted to kind of give a little bit of a clarity regarding the messages, because people who are watching New Earth Insights on Thursday, some felt like they were very upset with me pertaining to what I've been sharing or how I was sharing a lot of the information that comes together. So what I want to share with you guys first and foremost is basically the delivery of the messages that I get. So there's times too when I'm getting questions from people. Sometimes those questions can be quite repetitive. And there's kind of a natural instinct within me. This has happened especially with the 13 plus years that I was channeling Adronis, because he was very much in this particular mentality as well too, is he would be bold. Right? There would be a boldness in coming and say, well, this is what we're attempting to tell you. We're telling you this because blah, 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 blah. Right? And this is something that's really kind of embedded into me. And it's not to in any way harm a person. It's not into any way insult a person. Right? So when a person is saying, oh, Brad, what about the med beds? Right? And I said, okay, well, basically what I'm telling you right now is that that's not going to happen. Right? And I may get pretty bold with a lot of the things that I share. Now, that is not meant in any way to insult your guys' intelligence. That is not meant to be condescending in any way. That is not meant to be harmful. And if any of you guys have been hurt in regards to my boldness, I deeply apologize for that, okay? Because that is not what I'm attempting to do. It's just part of a very powerful method. Like I said, having done channeling for 13 years, because Adronis very much spoke like that through me, through the channeling state, and I was talking to thousands of people over the 13 years, channeling Adronis full time. and a lot of how he would come through, because a person may not get what was being shared, right? It just could not compute into them, and they would start getting more worried, or they would start getting more angry, and Adronis would basically kind of do like an Aikido principle. It's like they would take a lot of that volatile energy out of that person, and they would basically show it to them, right? And what that does is that completely dissolves a lot of the ego barriers around the person, right? So this is basically the whole idea, is that I would never be scalding a person, but I'm basically scalding the ego, right? So I know when that comes, because I've been doing this for quite some time, right? Some people are new. They come onto the channel and they don't know that I'm doing this. Some people, you guys have been with me for quite some time, so a lot of my subscribers, and they're used to it, and it's not a problem. But I do want to apologize if anybody was hurt or harmed in regards to anything of how I presented myself on Thursday, right? So it was not in any way an intention to harm anybody, or to insult anybody, or to insult anyone's intelligence, or to be condescending in any particular way. Especially over the last few months, especially, well, I'd say even going back a couple of years, ever since the entire pandemic, or scamdemic rather, things started, there's been a lot of heat. There's been a lot of heat on me, particularly, because I would share a lot of things that really maybe a lot of other people aren't sharing. And I'm kind of perplexed as to why they're not sharing that. Because there's people that are saying, well, Brad, everybody else is saying like the complete opposite of what you're saying. What's going on? I said, I don't know. I can't speak for those people, and I'm not here to give any opinions in regards to those people personally. All I can share is that, when I share a lot of these things, I even use the cards as well too, and the cards pretty much every single time back up everything that I share at the same time. And so I can't explain that, right? There's a lot of people that talk about med beds. There's a lot of people that talk about how it's going to be released this summer, or how it's going to be released later this year. And these are like the secret space program med beds. They're going to regenerate limbs, and they're going to bring youth to the body and reverse your age 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And I've had people that are just so absolutely thrilled about the SSP style med beds that are coming. And then they ask me and say, well, Brad, I've heard like from many of these psychics all across the internet. They're saying that they're coming. And I look into it, not just through my own intuition, but through the cards at the same time. And it says, no, they're not coming. There's going to be earlier forms of med beds in that way, but not to the degree of what we want. And as soon as I say something like that, I've had people just get so irritated with me, get so angry with me, get so unbelievably riled up by what I've said. And it's, how could you say that, right? Why are all these other people saying it and you're not saying it? I said, I don't know. I can't tell you. But it's just a lot of these things. Like, I have basically been torn apart and chewed up by quite a few people over the last little while. And I basically just kind of sat and took it. And there are times, too, where I may see some of these repetitive questions come up. And I admit there may be a small amount of frustration there, right? And it's kind of like, okay, and this is kind of what brings that bold conversation together. But like I said, when I'm bold, I'm not angry at you. I'm not angry at who you are, right? It's basically in that sense that I want to basically do this bold talk to scald the ego. And the ego basically starts to break down. It's kind of like breaking down the walls, right? That's really where I come from. And it's just something that I have picked up for many of these years, channeling Adronis, because I would observe exactly how he would talk to people. And so many people were very appreciative of how he talked to people, because he was bold, he was honest, and he went very, very deeply into that person's soul and told them things about themselves that they didn't even know about, but he did it with very bold directness, right? And that has rubbed off on me for quite a few years. And so that's how I'm naturally presenting myself as well, right? It becomes a natural habit. But no, like I'm saying, I'm not here to bash anybody here. I'm not here to condescend or thinking that I'm insulting your intelligence or anything of that I'm thinking, oh, Brad has all the answers and everybody else here is stupid. That's not the case whatsoever. It is just the idea that I do get this boldness that comes in from time to time. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. It all just depends on the situation. But it's not meant to harm anybody. So the clarity of my messages has always been based upon that. So, like I said, I'm not here to change any of you guys, and I know no one here can change me, right? The only people we can ever change is just ourselves. And this is a very, very powerful lesson. It's a very powerful understanding, and we have to go beyond the intellect to really understand that altogether, right? Yeah, Demi says it pretty well. Not scalding, but harsh truth style. That's good too, yes. But that's my intention, because I know some people were on the chat on Thursday, New Earth Insights, pretty offended by how I was presenting myself, by how I was sharing the information and all that stuff. And like I said, guys, if I've in any way hurt your feelings, I apologize for that, okay? Because that's not my intention. My intention is not to hurt your feelings or to scold you, all right? But it's to scald that phantom within ourselves that's called the ego. And this is something that many teachers have done over the line, and I'm just one of them, right? So this is really what I can share, what I can clarify in regards to the messages, okay? And I know I may share things that will be very, very different from what other people are sharing as well too, and I don't really have an explanation for that, because I'm not here to put anybody else down. I'm not here to say, oh, well, that person must be wrong, or no. It's just that I can only tell you, again, a perspective that I'm getting, right? Because I know how to talk to my heart, and I've been doing that for nearly 14 years now. Just being able to go into the heart and listen to the heart and just let the voice of the heart speak. And that is what I do. And then, like I said, I'll check in with the cards and make sure that what I'm getting is indeed what is coming through, and the cards also validate that at the same time. So again, I wanted to share this publicly with you guys. For those of you who are tuning into New Earth Insights, saying, man, is Brad coming down on people? What's going on here? No. Coming down on the ego, yes. But not coming down on people. So like I said, if that does happen in the near future, right, you guys have a little bit more of a realization. I may even say, okay, guys, I may get a little bit bold here, so hold on to your hats. I realize that this is something I have to be a little bit more conscientious about, because I knew I get a lot of new viewers. I get a lot of new viewers on my channel, and they don't know how I work. They may not be familiar with past videos. They don't even know I've channeled in the past as well too. And they may not know my background. So I'm going to be a little bit conscientious about that. So I'm very grateful that everything happened in the way that it did on Thursday, because it's given me kind of a newer perspective of things, and kind of giving you guys a heads up in the event that boldness needs to come in, because sometimes it might. All right. Okay. So why don't we go ahead and switch gears now and get into New Earth TV Live. So again, thank you everybody for being here. We're going to be doing some healing requests here very shortly, and we're also going to do some Q&A. So if you guys do have some healing requests, either for yourself or for another, we're going to be doing the clear ball technique today. Okay. So usually I like to kind of mix it up a little bit, and we're going to do the clear ball healing technique for people today. And then we'll get into some Q&A, okay? So again, guys, please no personal questions. If you guys do have personal questions, those are for private sessions, okay? If it's something very urgent and it's personal and you really need to talk to me, then you certainly can, okay? You can always drop me an email, info@newearthteachings.org. But like I said, it needs to be really, really severe, okay? And as much as I like to try and get in touch with everybody, my schedule is getting so packed. It's unbelievable. Especially now that I'm getting students. The newer students platform, I pretty much have my 50 students, okay? And I'm basically doing one semester full, which represents 7 months, okay? 7 months of training for the new students. It might be 8 months, because I might be going to India in October. But if it's between 7 or 8 months. And then I'll be bringing in a new set of students for the second semester, 50 new students after the first semester is concluded. So if you did not get in this time, don't worry. I had an overwhelming amount of applications. I had hundreds of them, okay? And it was just a matter of being able to kind of sort through them, because this is why I kind of closed the application forms a little bit early, because I had so many applications. And I just knew through the ones that I had that I would find my 50 people, and I did. And I'm very, very happy for that. So I'm going to be starting the newer students platform here this week, building it, and getting that going together. Plus, I'm going to be evolving more with healing code cards at the same time. Plus, I'm fulfilling orders. So another announcement this week, guys, is because I'm going to be having a very, very busy week, there will be no webcasts this coming week for Thursday and Friday. Friday, I'm going back to the island to get ready to do the weekend retreat. So I have to do some preparation there as well, too. And, of course, getting prepared for student work, taking care of deliveries for the healing code cards and everything. So I'm pretty swamped, plus doing sessions. So it's a pretty swamped week for me. So this is why I'm just going to be putting the 2 webcasts on hold for this week. But the week after, I'll be back with both webcasts, New Earth Insights and New Earth TV Live. So not this coming week, but the week after, I'll be back with it. Okay? So this will be the last one for about a 2-week break. All right? So anyways, let's go ahead now, and we're going to do a group meditation. And this one's going to be very, very unique because it's not actually going to focus on the earth this time, but it's going to focus on humanity. And we're going to be focusing on the hearts of humanity. It's the Human Heart Collective meditation. All right. So if you want to join me, just go ahead now and just get yourself nice and relaxed. You can keep your spine nice and straight. We'll place our hands upon the center of the chest. We're going to take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Exhale. And again, inhale. Exhale. And once more, inhale. Exhale. And now with your hands upon the center of the chest, I want you just to tune into your own heart. Okay, I want you just to imagine like you can visualize your own heart beating directly in your chest. And what I want you to do is I want you to imagine like there is an overlay of your heart that is now starting to move away from the physical heart, and you're just holding it here, just like this, just like how we would hold an energy ball. But what we're doing instead is we're seeing an energetic heart. So we're just seeing an image overlay of our own heart. And we're just going to make it a little bit bigger, maybe about 3 or 4 times its size. And what I want you to do is I want you just to imagine right now all near 8 billion humans and their hearts joined together with this single heart, this larger heart. That as you go within this image heart in between your hands, you're seeing the beating of billions of other hearts inside this one heart. It's like going into a realm, and all around you are these billions of beating hearts, all beating simultaneously in synchronicity. Thump, 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 thump. They are all beating in unison, in tandem, in sync. And now we're zooming out so we can see that heart in between our hands right now. And all I want you to do right now is I want you just to let that heart float in the air. And we're just going to move our hands just like how we do the phase 2 of the prana transmission technique, where we're just holding our hands just like this, and we're just seeing that large heart directly in front of us. And what we're going to do is we're going to share our sankalpa. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys an example of a sankalpa. Again, that is the heart-based desire, a heart-based intention. Okay, so what I'm going to say is, I am healing the hearts of every human on the earth. I am healing the heart of every human on the earth. I am healing the heart of every human on the earth. If you want to repeat after me, you can. Or if you have your own sankalpa pertaining to this, you can share it now as well. And let's breathe in spirit as we inhale. Breathe out spirit as we exhale. Inhale spirit. Exhale spirit. Once more, inhale spirit. Exhale spirit. And now just letting spirit do the work through us, sending healing to every human heart. Let us begin. Just letting yourself relax and just letting the prana flowing through yourself with spirit being your guide, letting all of that pranic energy touch every single heart inside the collective heart that is directly before you. Just letting all of the hearts inside the collective heart feel lighter and lighter as they take in all of the pure prana flowing through your vessel directly from spirit, enriching and enlightening every single heart within the collective heart. Just taking a moment now to resting your energies, returning your prana back into your being, taking that collective heart right now and putting it back into your heart, knowing that every single overlay of the 8 billion human hearts are also contained together within your one heart. That every single heart that is with me right now, it is for you to know that every heart that exists here on the earth is your heart as well. That every single person, that every single creature that carries that heart, we carry it together. We are one heart, we are one family, we are one unit, we are one collective. Continue to send that softness, that pure love to every single heart that you see. Whether it be family, whether it be friends, whether it be acquaintances, whether it be strangers. Open your heart, and regardless of what they're going through, whether they are working upon themselves, whether they are afraid, whether they are upset, or they are uncertain of these times to come, make your heart available for them. Because you have that great strength within yourself to lighten up your world that surrounds you. Thank you for joining me for this human collective heart meditation. Blessings to you all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaskar. And thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for joining me. It was beautiful. So right now, we're going to go ahead and go into healing. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch the windows here. There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So we're going to get to questions afterwards, guys. So Tara, I'll attempt to remember your question. So again, guys, if you put donations down, and if by chance I miss your question, just try your best to copy and paste it into the chat as I go down. But Tara, I got your question here about pulling cards on public schools using a new program called Conscious Discipline. If it's a good program or the same system of brainwashing. So we'll look into that right after we get into some healing. After we finish up some healing, we'll get into some questions. Okay? And Tara, I'll do my best to remember yours first. Okay? Thank you very much, guys. So let's go ahead now and take some healing requests. Okay? So if you guys have any healing requests, feel free to post it on the chat. If you do have a healing request for another person, just let me know as well too. We'll basically be doing the clear ball technique for their higher selves and helping that out for another person if you want to give it for another person, okay? Okay, so the first one I have here is from Debbie. Debbie888. Debbie says, healing for my mom. She fell and fractured her wrist and shoulder. Okay. Yes, we will certainly do some work to helping her. So I'll just refer to her as Debbie's mom. All right. So as this is for somebody else, I'm just going to be working with her higher self. All right. So, and Debbie, if you want to work in the background, if anybody else wants to work in the background, giving a loving energy to Debbie's mother with her accident that she had, this is very appreciated also. All right. So I'm going to be calling in Debbie's mother's higher self to be present here with me. Okay, she is here. Okay, and with her higher self, I'm just going to be guiding the clear ball, to letting the higher self work with the clear ball, putting it inside the higher self's chest, and for the higher self to link directly to Debbie's mother's physical self, and just absorbing any pain energy, any emotional conflict, any mental conflict that is contained within this injury, and just gathering all of that energy and putting it directly into the clear ball. And I'm just asking the higher self of Debbie's mother to do this now for her. Okay, all the energy is in there, and now I'm just asking the higher self just to take the ball out and just holding it there. And as we're holding it there, all we're doing right now is we're just saying to the ball and to everything that represents the debris inside the ball, I forgive you. 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 Okay? And that's all we're doing. We're just saying, I forgive you to the clear ball until it gets smaller and smaller so that we can touch our hands together. Once the hands are touched together, Divine Mother let me try this again. 1 moment. Divine Mother God, I ask for your forgiveness to ensure that all of the debris contained in this ball for Debbie's mother is now completely forgiven and purified in totality. Apply. Okay, very good work. All right. So, Debbie, it's for you to know that your mother's wound is going to be well. Okay. A lot of the karmic debris, a lot of the debris altogether is now being currently cleared out. Her higher self is working with her on that. And all of this energy is being forgiven. So she will make a recovery. Okay. Blessings to you both. Thank you very much. Blessings to Debbie's mother's higher self as well. Namaskar. Thank you. Okay. It's been a while since I've done the clear ball, so I think I'm a bit rusty. All right, so let's go down the list. Thank you again, Debbie, for that. Let's go back to where I was here. Okay, so Demi has a question here about the New Earth students. So again, guys, as I stated, the first semester is already taken care of. Okay, so I already got 50 students. I can only handle 50 students. I can't do more than that. If I do more than 50 students, it's just going to get too overwhelming. So I basically already have my 50 students selected already for the first semester of the New Earth Students School. Okay, and like I said, it's a free school. People come to me because they want to go into Kundalini awakening sessions. They want to open up their chakras. They want to work with their inner being. And the people that I've chosen are very committed people. Okay, so again, the semester will be about 7 to 8 months long. Once that semester is complete next year, it's probably around February, March, around that time, then I'll be making announcements through the webcasts, through YouTube, through Facebook, through Telegram, through my newsletter about when the next semester will start. Okay, and I'll be choosing another 50 students, but that's quite a ways from now. Okay, so I'll keep you guys in touch when that time comes. But right now, I'm just working on my 50 students who I already have. Okay, so get prepared for next semester. Next semester afterwards, another 50 students will be selected. Okay, so to me, that's what's happening with the class. Thank you very much. I can't guarantee who's going to be in the next class. You guys have to apply. Okay, so when you apply, then I'll know. So you have to kind of wait till that time comes. All right, let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay. So any more healing requests, guys? We're going to get to some Q&A here shortly. We're just going to do some healing requests now. All right. Let me just go down a little bit more. Okay, this one here is from Moya. Moya says, healing please, Brad, for a new friend, Chris. Thank you all. That's very sweet of you to offer healing to a new friend. Okay. So, yes, we will work with Chris, Moya. All right, so Moya, again, if you want to offer some healing in the background, and everybody else who wants to is welcome to also. So I will just be calling in Chris's higher self once again. Okay, and through Chris's higher self, we're now just creating that clear ball, putting it in the chest. Okay, and I'm asking Chris's higher self, pertaining to the injury, ailment that Chris has, to gather all of that dense prana and putting it directly into the clear ball now. Okay, it is all in there. So we're now extracting that clear ball out from the chest, holding it there for Chris's higher self. Excuse me. All right, and now Chris's higher self, just saying to the ball and all the debris within it, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. Bringing that until your hands are close together. Then when the hands are touching, I will now connect with Spirit. Divine Mother God, I ask for your forgiveness to apply it directly into Chris's body, pertaining to the ailment, injury, impurity, karmic debris that is contained there, to where forgiveness has been reached by Chris's higher self, and bringing this complete situation into complete and total harmony and into complete and total purity, here and now. Apply. Okay, blessings to Chris's higher self, to Moya. Thank you very much. As I was saying that, I was actually feeling my hands just moving completely by themselves. It was a wonderful feeling, like a magnet. Right? So, Moya, thank you very much. That's very selfless of you to give that healing to Chris. So, let me know how he's doing. You can always follow up with me through email if you like. Okay? But work has been done from him. So, thank you so much for that. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, this one here is from Siam, right below Moya. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name right. Siam. Is it possible you can send healing to my cat, My Pie? My Pie. I guess it's My Pie. With an enlarged heart and heart murmur. Okay. Yes, we will do that now. So I will work together with your cat, My Pie. It's a cute name. And I will call in My Pie's higher self. Basically just seeing kind of like an orb of light here. And now we would just put that crystal ball directly into My Pie's physical body. And to My Pie's higher self, just gathering all of the stagnant prana around the heart of My Pie. And placing all of that stagnant prana directly into the clear ball for My Pie. And now extracting that ball. And just with My Pie's higher self together with me, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you. Divine Mother God, I ask for your forgiveness to be applied to My Pie, clearing away all of My Pie's stagnant energy through its heart, through its body, clearing all of the karmic debris contained within My Pie's heart, enlarged heart, and heart murmur, lifting all of that energy from their body, putting it into source consciousness to be purified and forgiven, and brought into divine forgiveness in totality. Apply. All right, it is done. So thank you very much, Siam. That's wonderful to bring that request forward for your cat. So again, my pie is being worked on. All right. Thank you very much. Blessings to you. Okay. Okay, this one here is from Matt. Matt says, please, my foster son, Junior, in Benin, needs help with his hernia and testicular pains. Okay, so we will do that. So again, I'm just going to bring in the higher self. So like I said, if it's ever for anybody else, we're just bringing in the higher self and doing higher self healing. Okay, so again, his name was Junior. Okay, so again, I will call in Junior's higher self now. Okay, he is present with me now. We're bringing forward the clear ball, putting that directly into the chest. And now just gathering up all the stagnant prana that is causing the hernia and the testicular pain. Gathering all of that energy up, putting it directly into the clear ball, filling it up. Okay. All of that debris is now in the ball. We're now extracting the ball out of the chest, holding it between the hands, and through Junior's higher self. I forgive you. 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 Bringing the hands together. Divine Mother God, I ask for your forgiveness, applied directly to Junior, to completely heal, release, and purge all of the built-up stagnant prana, all that represents karmic debris, errors, and mistakes that have caused his hernia and testicular pain, to be completely purified and forgiven, brought into the essence of spirit for complete and total forgiveness. Apply. And blessings very much to Junior. Okay. Thank you very much, Mats. And like I said, continue to send your love to him as well, too. Encourage the family to do this as well. Encourage friends to do this. The more that also he's getting that love, this will certainly accelerate his healing. Okay. Thank you very much for that. Okay. This is just a bit of a general question from Diane. Diane says, hi, Brad. When we do the collective heart meditation, do we connect with our loved ones of the other side? Thanks for a wonderful meditation. I haven't even actually considered that. You can, if you want. Generally, that meditation is meant for the living, though. It's meant for the living hearts on the planet. Okay. Of course, they are living in another way, right? When we have our family that have dropped their body and have returned back into source consciousness, they are still living beings, but they're just living in their true dimension, in their true nature, right? So you can certainly intend that if you wish, but basically the intention behind the heart meditation is just to work with the human hearts here, with the living humans in the physical body, okay? But if you want to add that, you certainly can. It's up to you. All right, thank you very much. So this one here is from Ashley. I think Ashley's asking me a request here. She says, I'm seeking heart opening for myself. Okay. So Ashley, we actually will do something different than the clear ball for that. Okay. So this goes back to the prana transmission technique. So Ashley, if you're not familiar with the prana transmission technique, I'd like you to pull up the video on my YouTube channel. If you don't know where it is, just go onto my channel, type in prana transmission technique. You can even type that into the YouTube search bar. Okay. My video will come up. Prana transmission technique. You'll see me wearing glasses behind my whiteboard. Okay. And so what I'm going to do, Ashley, is just do a short demonstration for you of how we can open up the heart a lot more. And this is for everybody else as well, too, who is having difficulty in opening up their heart. Okay. So just as we learned in phase 1 of the prana transmission technique, we're just being aware of a thought. Okay. So basically, Ashley, I just want you to look at your heart right now, just as the thought that is coming in. Right? So you're pulling up the thought, and you're looking at your heart, and you may feel a type of emotional concern relating to the idea that your heart is not open. Okay? So that could lead to sadness, that could lead to disappointment. So we're just being aware of that. Okay? So now that we're aware of that, I want you to take your right hand, okay, placing your thumb over the right nostril, and inhale through the left nostril. Hold your breath, Ashley, as long as you can. Plug the nose. Let it out through the right nostril. Okay, plugging the right nostril, breathing in through the left nostril. Holding your breath as long as you can, plugging the nose. Let it out through the right nostril. One more time. Switch. Breathing into the left nostril. Holding your breath as long as you can, plug the nose. Okay, opening the right nostril, letting it out. Okay, so Ashley, after you've done that, I want you to look back at the thought again, right? And you're basically asking yourself the question, is this thought still affecting me? Okay? If the thought is not affecting you, push it away. Let it go. Okay? So the thought has been neutralized and you're pushing it back into the darkness. It no longer has a grasp on you. Okay? If it's still affecting you, just repeat again with those 3 breaths. Okay? So we do first breath in to the left, out to the right, while you're holding your breath in between, of course. Okay? In, hold breath, out, in, hold breath, out. After we do 3 more, we look at the thought again. Is that thought still affecting me? Okay? And we just keep doing that until the thought doesn't affect you anymore. That thought now completely floats away. It no longer has a grasp on you anymore. Now that that is done, the heart will open. Okay? Now you guys can also do, in addition, as you direct your attention, I just want you to put your awareness around your heart, because this is the second thing that you can do. Okay? You're just putting your attention to the heart, and we're just doing Chandra Badani Pranayam. Hold the breath. Plug the nose. Let it out. And I want you to continue to do that. Okay? I want you to continue to do that until you actually feel a fluttering or a breeze sensation within the heart. Okay? Just keep doing this. This is for everybody. Okay? Just keep doing it. If you guys are having a difficult time opening the heart, this is a shortcut that can help you open up the heart. Okay? So the reason why the heart is closed is because we have a lot of that heat contained inside the heart. Okay? There's that inflammation, heat. There's something that's been grasping at us. A lot of it is emotional reason, right? It's dormant because of our own negligence and our own emotional heat. So we're doing Chandra Badani Pranayama to opening up the heart a lot more. Okay? This is also working with the feminine center. So when you're working together with Ida, Nadi, you're bringing in the feminine breath. You're bringing in the lunar breath, the moon breath. Okay? And we're doing it exactly as we would do it when we're doing phase 1 of prana transmission technique. Okay? So we firstly want to clear away the thoughts pertaining to how we feel about the heart. And the second stage is we're bringing our awareness to the heart, and we're doing Chandra Pranayama for that too. And we keep doing it until we feel something. We want to feel something in the heart. So it's a flutter, it's a breeze, it's a tingling. Okay? Something is being felt in the heart. When you feel that, congratulations, you've opened the heart. Okay? That's how simple it is. We just keep working at it. All right? So thank you, Ashley, for your request. Okay. Okay, this one here is from Linda. Linda, you are next. So Linda, you said, I have trigeminal neuralgia. I don't think I'm familiar with that condition. The pain is at 5 to 15 all day. Impossible to eat and talk at times. Okay. So I'm not actually familiar with that disorder, but we'll still work on it. Okay. So we're going to go back to the clear ball. And Linda, as you're with me, we don't have to work with the higher self. So Linda, if you're with me right now, let's just place the hands upon the center of the chest. Let's take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, and I want you just to create a clear ball, just like you're putting your hands together in prayer posture. And I want you to create a clear ball, just about the same size as your heart. Okay? And I want you to take that clear ball, and you're just putting it inside the chest. Okay? So as we do that, Linda, the next thing we're going to do, like I said, we didn't need to do this with the higher self, but we do have to do it with the physical self because you're watching me. Okay, we're going to do what's known as the apologetic affirmation. Okay, so Linda, you can simply repeat after me. I apologize to my body for being neglectful regarding this condition. I ask for my body's forgiveness, and I ask Spirit for forgiveness, as well as its assistance, to clear away this condition and bring it into the purity of Spirit's divine forgiveness. And so it is. Okay, very good. Now that we have done that, just with our hands back upon the center of our chest, we're going to tune into the clear ball, and we're just letting the body guide all of that debris, and it's just pushing it directly into the clear ball. Okay, so everything that represents that condition that you mentioned, everything to where you feel like pain has existed, I want you just to take those points to where you have felt the pain, just like they're globs of that black liquid dense energy representing the pain and stagnant prana, and you're just gravitating it. You're putting it directly into the clear ball. So it's like these little bubbles of black globs, and they're just gravitating and putting themselves directly into the clear ball. And the clear ball completely holds them in. Okay, so just letting all of those globs, letting all of that debris, representing everything pertaining to the condition, be placed into the clear ball. Okay, now we're extracting the clear ball, holding it in between our palms just like this, like an energy ball. Okay, so Linda, right now I want you to take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and I want you just to repeat after me. I am pure forgiveness. I am pure forgiveness. I am pure forgiveness. Okay? I want you just to really absorb those words to yourself, Linda. I am pure forgiveness. I am pure forgiveness. Okay, and as we do that, we're looking at the ball now, and we're just saying to the ball, I forgive you. And I want you to do it with your heartfelt sincerity. I forgive you. 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 Okay? And we're just making it smaller and smaller as we continue to say those words until our palms touch. Okay? Once our palms touch, just bring it here to center chest level. And just follow your breath as I now connect with Spirit. Divine Mother God, I ask for your forgiveness to clear away all of the debris of pain energy and stagnant energy, stagnant prana, contained within the ball that once was contained inside Linda's body. From all the karmic debris that she once held, from all of the prana debris that she once held, errors, mistakes, conflicts. Let all of this be brought into the essence of Spirit now, to be purified and forgiven in totality. Apply. Okay. So you guys are seeing me do this. This is Spirit actually pushing my hands out and saying, make the ball bigger, make the ball bigger, make the ball bigger, to give that to Linda. Okay? So Linda, all of that has been sent to you. Okay? So Spirit is working with you, clearing all of that debris on a cellular level from the body, because all we're doing is we're just collecting the essence of it, right? We're basically forgiving the essence, but everything that remains in the body, that's what's being forgiven through Spirit altogether. Okay? So blessings to you, Linda. Thank you very much for again volunteering. Okay? So at the end of the broadcast, guys, we'll be doing a group healing. I do want to get into Q&A now. Okay? So if I missed you, don't worry. Just be present for group healing that we'll do at the end of the broadcast. We're going to do a collective clear ball technique. Okay? Thank you guys for volunteering that. So I'm going to go back to Tara's question here. So Tara had a question about can you pull cards on public schools using a new program called Conscious Discipline? Is this a good program or the same system of brainwashing? Okay, Conscious Discipline. Let's take a look at that. And what the cards say about that. It looks like it's a bit of a different perspective. It's a bit of a different perspective. Okay, so there's kind of more of a emotional consideration to this type of technique or this type of program that you're referring to. Okay, so there's kind of an emotional stability that it will bring. Okay, I think it also gives the idea for people to have more independent thought. Okay, to being able to be their own guide, to know when to withdraw, to know when to walk their own path. Okay, so that's a good sign. It helps to give a different perspective on things. So I wouldn't say it's either good or bad. It's just a different approach altogether. But from what I'm feeling here about the idea of complementing independent thought, that feels quite good, as well as emotional stability at the same time. So it looks like something that could be promising. Okay, so I haven't actually heard of anything of that nature, but conscious discipline feels like it's something that could be, like I said, it's not really good or bad. It's just kind of more of a different feeling. But just in regards to what we're used to through other programs, this could certainly be a step up. Okay, so Tara, that's what I have regarding your question. Thank you. All right. So let me just go down the list here a bit more, and we'll look into some questions now. I have to go down a bit more. So when we do a group healing at the end, guys, if you want to dedicate your particular healing for the person in your life who you feel needs it most, just put that thought intention when we do the group healing, okay? And that will go towards your loved one. All right. Okay, here's an interesting question here from Leica, L-A-I-C-A. Leica, okay. Question, is it possible that there are things happening in our lives that are outside the soul contract? Well, the answer would be both yes and no, right? Because if we're looking into the idea of a... thank you, Siam, for your contribution for my pie. Hope he's feeling better. But basically, in that sense, yes. Now, the best way to put this is that, like I said, we're in a sandbox, okay? And as you're in a sandbox, you are just building what you know. You're just building what you're aware of. So you may be aware of houses, you may be aware of skyscrapers, you may be aware of schools, you may be aware of temples, right? And you're designing certain types of clothing, etc. So you are building with what you are familiar with, okay? That's part of your agreement in regards to what you know, right? There's a whole cosmos, everybody. And there is going to be vast amounts of knowledge that will, at some particular point, evolve us to even higher levels. But we're only working with what we know. So when you look at the idea of a soul contract, again, it's not really so much of a contract in this way. It's more so in the idea about what you know. It's more about your knowingness, your soul knowingness, in regards to who you are in this life and in regards to what you can work with, what you can play with, what you can interact with, all based upon that noosphere, right? So that is what you know. Again, of course, we have countless planets in the cosmos. We have countless civilizations. We have countless dimensions that we have not even considered exploring. And will we touch any of those in this lifetime? I doubt it, right? It's like just looking at a small crumb. And that crumb represents our noosphere. That is the theme pertaining to the thoughts that we have access to based upon familiarity. So the familiarity that you have is what you're working with. That's what you're playing with. But of course, you're looking at things that we can't even begin to postulate. You're looking at all probabilities. You're looking at vast arrays of knowledge that we can't even begin to postulate because we're not at that level of experience yet. So you're only working together with the noosphere based upon the experience that you possess to work with what you have in this lifetime. Okay? That's the best way to sum it up. So that's kind of the yes and no. There is all of that vast knowledge, but we really we're not aware of it, right? You cannot grasp what you are not aware of. You cannot grasp what you do not know, right? So this is why it's kind of a yes and no question. Okay? Good question, though. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay, this one here again is from Demi. Demi says, I feel warmth between my hands and magnetic energies. I also feel like a healing energy around me, like a big bubble of clean air. Am I crazy? Well, is it okay to be crazy? Is that all right? Right? because I've certainly had crazy moments myself. I think it's okay to call yourself crazy. It doesn't mean you're wrong, though, right? Even if we're crazy, it doesn't mean we're wrong. So, but what you're describing is very, very common, okay? So when you're talking about your hands getting warm, that's the prana running through your body, okay? Your prana is running through your body. The energy is flowing, okay? You feel warm energy. You feel like a big bubble of clean air. Well, that again is your prana working together with you, all right? So that's quite a natural feeling. When you start opening yourself up to healing a lot more, you will feel sensations like that. So it's perfectly normal, and it's okay to be crazy too. Doesn't mean you're wrong. Okay, thank you. Okay, let me just take a moment here, guys. Okay, this one here is from Alina. Alina says, Brad, I know specific sounds and music can help with healing, but binaural beats, music, make me uncomfortable with the head. With headaches, I guess you're trying to say? What would be an effective sound for healing without side effects? I can't really answer that question because everybody's different. Everybody has different arrangements in that way. If you're noticing that there's some, it depends upon the quality of the music that you're listening to as well. Some people can sometimes make pretty shoddy binaural beats or isochronic tones. And like I said, if that's starting to cause you problems, just don't listen to it, right? It's the important thing. Some people are very more sensitive than others. So what I would suggest is maybe listening to some kind of softer music, more audibly, right? So maybe you're laying on your bed and you have an MP3 player in that sense and you're just playing aloud, but it's something that's more delicate with you. You don't have to work with binaural beats if you don't have a good feeling about them, okay? If you don't want to work with them, you don't have to. There may be the idea that you could work with something like HemiSync, right? There's other particular types of programs, but you have to experiment because I can't say what's best for you or what's not because I'm not in your body and I don't have your brain, okay? But you want to just kind of experiment with things. Try working just with softer music. Maybe work with choirs. Work with tones in that way. Work with Om chanting, okay? So maybe you hear Tibetan monks chanting Om on YouTube and you want to listen to that. That too is very powerful, okay? So look at alternatives. Maybe you want to try HemiSync, okay? Maybe that's something that you could enjoy at the same time. You have to kind of experiment here. Now, like I said, just some people have certain forms of sensitivities at the same time. But what I would suggest is that you're working with prana transmission technique, Alina, for anything pertaining to a thought that may bother you, right? So if we're looking at the binaural beats and saying, oh, this has hurt me, it doesn't feel good, I feel pretty lousy from it, well, that's something that we could use prana transmission technique for in helping to clear that out altogether, okay? So, like I said, you just have to kind of experiment. You have to look with different things, but there's a lot more to music than just the idea of binaural beats. If you really want to go into deeper states, nothing gets you there quicker than your breath, okay? Heart rate variability breath is what's going to get you there very, very quickly, like what you learned through BCR technique, okay? All we're really doing, what the binaural beats are helping you to do, is helping you to go into those lower brainwave states. But we have the ability through our breath to go into those states. Even when you start doing Chandra Pranayama, you're working with the Ida, Nadi channel, and as you're working together with that, you're stimulating the delta state within yourself. The left nostril is linked to the delta brainwave state. The right nostril is linked to the beta. Okay? So when we have a strong right nostril, that is actually linking us into the beta brainwave state. Okay? And the left is linking us to the delta. So if you really want to go deep, one of the things you can do, like I said, is heart rate variability. Second thing you can do is working together with Chandra Badani Pranayam. Okay? Holding the breath, breathing out through the right nostril. And just continuing to do that. Don't even worry about keeping count. Just keep doing it until you feel kind of floaty, you feel kind of light. You may feel buzzing sensations around your body as well too. Just keep doing it. Do it until you feel an effect that you feel satisfied of where you want to be. Okay? That's something that can also help you besides working with binaural beats. Okay? And I do know some people that just don't like the binaural beats at all. They don't like the way they sound. They just don't really stand it. It's kind of like nails against a chalkboard, and I can understand that. There's some that put them in a lot more subtly, so you can barely hear them. And there's ones, again, that just work with them in different arrangements. So like I said, just mix and match. Find out what works best for you, okay? But breath work, you can certainly get there. Thank you very much. Okay. Carol says, as Willie Nelson sang, I've always been crazy, but it kept me from going insane. That's it. That's why I say crazy is not really a bad thing. I'm pretty much crazy, guys. Like, I can't really go out there and talk to the normies about the stuff I'm talking to you guys about, because I'll certainly be called the C word. But that's okay. Crazy is not a bad thing for me. So let's go to Nadine here. Nadine says, a question about the jab. Are we still going to see many of our friends and loved ones who took the jab going to have major health issues in the future? That depends. That all depends. What I'm noticing, particularly in Canada, is that a lot of people in with the jabs haven't actually been affected at all. This is going back to my theory, where I felt that Canada has actually the majority of Canadian vaccines here is actually much more placebo-based. Okay, so the majority of it is. I've actually only heard maybe from a few Canadians that may have had some serious side effects with it. But a lot of the Canadians here are mainly being jabbed with saline. Okay, and like I said, it's because there's a lot of counterforces that are here. And there's been a lot of attempts to really drown out a lot of the toxic vaccines. Some of them are still floating around, yes. But there's also a lot more of the placebo ones as well too. But like I said, if you don't want to get it, that's the best way to do it, right? But if you do notice that other people are getting it, you can just observe about how they're feeling. But again, some people, even my own mom, for example, because she took it and she's actually feeling fine. She hasn't had any side effects at all from what she's told me. And that would tell me that's a placebo vaccine. All right. But that's really what I can suggest. Continue to educate people every step of the way. But like I said, I think the majority, just in Canada here, is mostly placebo-based. Okay. But we don't want to play Russian roulette. So it's just good to inform people, keep them educated. Even if they don't want to hear it, you're still sharing your piece, right? So it depends. In every other country, there may be different things. Okay, but in Canada, that's how it mostly is. It's mostly placebo here. Okay. Thank you for your question. Okay, G.A. Arago says, what makes the Black Hills in South Dakota sacred? Let's take a look at that through the cards. See what the cards say about the Black Hills in South Dakota. Okay, I think there's a base there. I think there may actually be an installation. Okay, some sort of top secret installation that may actually be kept under the Black Hills. Okay, so this is something that's been kind of under wraps for quite some time. All right, but I think we're now starting to maybe reach a certain level of exposure there. I'm not too sure if it's extraterrestrial or if it's man-made. It feels like it could be a man-made base in that way. But there's just been a lot of secrecy around there, right? And I think maybe this has been around for quite some time. So like I said, it could be off-world. Or it could be man-made. Also getting this card as well too. So there may be some distress around. I'm not too sure if people got some sort of symptoms when they were going around the Black Hills or anything of that nature. But there's definitely a lot of secrets here. Maybe there's something will be revealed very, very soon. But it feels kind of like an installation. It feels like something may be kept under there. It may be, again, extraterrestrial. I'm not too sure. I'm not really getting the idea of it being extraterrestrial or not. Okay, it might be. It might be otherworldly, that's an otherworldly situation coming there. Okay, so it might be an installation hidden under the fields. It may have strong magnetic energy as well too. So there may be some experiments going on in that region as well too. So to me, when I kind of feel that, it doesn't feel like it's too pleasant to be around. So just something to kind of keep an eye on. But it feels like there may be some type of installation, some type of structure that is kept underneath the hills and may actually be broadcasting some sort of like magnetic energy in that way. So, but it doesn't really feel like it's too eye-pleasing, so to speak. Okay, so something is certainly there. Let me take a little bit more look into it. I just want to do an outlook reading on it as well too, about the Black Hills. I think there's been horror movies based around it too as well. So I basically just asked the question that, what is happening in the Black Hills? Would that be off-world related? Is there an off-world presence behind the idea of the Black Hills? Okay. Yes, it does feel like there could be some ET presence surrounding the Black Hills. Okay. So I think it may be turning into something else as well too. Maybe it's an installation that has now been under counterforce jurisdiction, and maybe it's being used for something else. But it may have been like a lookout area. Okay, so something of a lookout area. So there's kind of a confirmation here. There is something off-worldly pertaining to the Black Hills. Okay, so I think it was used for very harsh, erroneous situations in the past, but I think it's maybe being taken over and being used as something else now, which is a good sign. Okay. But it certainly had some unpleasant off-world energies, because when I looked at it, it didn't feel like it was too good. Okay, but it feels like things are changing around with it now, so that's good to hear. Okay, thank you for your question. Let me just go. Okay, some people are asking me about Tataria, guys, about ancient Russia in that way, and a lot of civilizations there. I've kind of avoided talking about that because that is a very, very big topic. It's a huge topic. I don't think it's something I can really sum up. But basically, when we're looking at the kingdom of Tataria, we're looking at something that was truly otherworldly, right? It was basically like looking at the result of many off-worlders intervening together with the people of the planet at that time and teaching them the way of divine life, right? Teaching them the divine way. We could call it the law of one. We could call it the divine way. We could call it living the Vedic way as well too. Tataria really represents that. We're looking at ancient structures. We're looking at structures that were basically built with sound at the same time, similar to how the pyramids were built. So one of the best kept secrets on the planet is relating to Tataria civilization. Of course, there's a lot of other ancient civilizations as well too, but they had a lot of the ancient knowledge, and they were much more of a disciplined spiritual culture. But of course, they too had their time, and they left this world. And some of them may have basically left this world by other means, which means that they have gone through spiritual ascension. Okay, but the Tataria civilization is very, very ancient. It was even going back into the times, I would say, of like Atlantis or even ancient Mu at that time. But there was a very, very, it was kind of like a golden age culture. That would be the best way I could put it. And we have a lot of remains from the Tatarian civilization that they're discovering around the areas of Europe and Asia, like particularly around Russia, and of course going down the areas of Asia as well too. So they're a very ancient society, and I feel like also a lot of Indians were part of that as well too, right? So we basically had Russians. I think we had basically a mixed race. I think we had a mix of Oriental, of Mediterranean, of Germanic races, Indian as well too. It feels like it was a very strong unity, a very strong unified culture, and all about teaching the ancient ways. It would not surprise me if a lot of the ancient Indian teachings came from Tataria. Okay, so basically that's really what it represents. It was something where there was a lot of off-world presence. I would even say almost like godly presences coming together with Tataria. So I'm going to give a brief look into Tataria, because that would be another discussion within itself because it's so vast. Okay, but with the Tataria civilization, what can be shared in regard to the outcome of what I just talked about pertaining to it? Would this be confirmed in regards to their advanced civilization and how they lived on a much more divine level, and how the different ethnicities have basically branched off from Tataria, from the Germanic races to Oriental and Indian, Mediterranean, in that way. Let's see what the cards say. Yes, pretty much. Okay. So it's basically saying that Tataria once had a very large presence around the world, right? It wasn't even just the idea of their teachings from their location. A lot of it has spread all across the planet. They really were kind of like the golden age society, okay? And their roots are still present today, okay? So they have left a lot of their remains, and there may have already been a lot of discoveries pertaining to the secrets of their ancient societies that really helped to shape the culture at that time, that again kind of regurgitate into certain degrees of enlightened teachings that we receive today. But they have, of course, come and gone, but they're leaving a lot of secrets behind for us, a lot of codes for us to find. So I would just suggest that you would talk to some more people who are very big investigators and researchers for the Tatarian civilization. Okay, I'm not one of them. Okay, I've heard of them, but I haven't really been able to talk about them too much. I've talked about other ones, like I've always been fond of Atlantis and Mu, Lemuria, in that way. I haven't really talked too much about the Tatarian civilization, but you can certainly find a lot of people who talk about it, right? There's people who are doing hypnotic sessions. Maybe Dolores Cannon may have had somebody talking about the Tatarian civilization in one of her books. So I would suggest just look at some researchers as well too, see what they're able to dig up. But you're looking at one of the most prominent and powerful Golden Age societies, Golden Age civilizations to ever exist on the Earth. That's what I can share about that. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay, guys, I think we're going to take a couple more questions, and we're going to do a group healing, and then we're going to wrap up for today. Okay, here's one from Ava. Ava says, what is the momentum for the jab for babies? How will that work out? Is the crescendo for the jab coming soon? Like, when will the normies finally get it? It's already starting to happen right now. We're starting to see that a lot of everything pertaining to their plans is starting to fall apart, right? The COVID altogether, in regards to how the presence it had a year ago compared to what it is right now, has seriously dwindled. Okay, and even before the end of April, like I was talking about, I feel like a lot of it is going to fold around the end of April. A lot of it did. A lot of it has been lightened up in many different countries. Not all, because like I said, some countries will still hold on to it. But we're seeing a lot more of a decline of it altogether. Okay, so what is the momentum for the jab for infants? So we'll take a look at that question. I guess that all depends on the parents, really. But let's take a look. Yeah, for basically what I'm getting is saying that's not something you need to worry about. Okay, it feels like this is going to be resolved. It's kind of like what I was saying just before. Okay, we're moving upwards and away from it. COVID's not going to be around for much longer, right? I know people have said that for quite some time, but like I've talked about, we're seeing a great decline with it. It's losing its momentum. It's losing its power. People are standing up, and you have to really look in regards to what people have become because they've stood up to this. They've become stronger. They've become wiser. They've become more resilient, right? They're letting their light shine. This is what it has brought out of people, okay? The whole idea in that sense about what we're here to do, because we even go back to several decades past. And of course, there was crisis back then. We go back a century. And of course, there was crisis back then. And people always wanted to try and find an alternative to figure out how we can get out of this crisis. We have crisis here. We have a crisis with this virus. We have a crisis with this financial situation. We have a crisis with government. It just has continued to go on throughout the century and more than that. We've always had some particular point of crisis. But basically, we are in the 2020s, where we have basically experienced the greatest culmination to that crisis. Because as I've always talked about, tragedy brings unity. And it's because of the tragedies that we've been going through that even though some people are still asleep, a lot of people have woken up from this. And a lot of people are standing on their feet, and they're shining their light, right? To where that was not there before. If we go back a few years, those people weren't there. And now so many people are standing up. So many people are taking their power back, okay? So this is the whole idea. It's not just the idea of the behind-the-scenes counterforces. It's the idea of ourselves. We're going places. We're moving into new heights. We're shifting ourselves into new levels of awareness. And that's what this is doing. So I would not worry so much about the idea of infants being affected by jabs, okay? A lot of it is going to be confronted. A lot of it is going to be scrapped. A lot of it is going to be taken down. And like I said, just from Canada's perspective, we're seeing a lot more of these jabs becoming placebos than anything else, okay? It feels like a lot more of the toxic ones that are still out there, but they are certainly becoming less and less, which overall is good, okay? Thank you, Ava, for your question. I can't guarantee that the normies will fully get it. We can't guarantee that, guys. We cannot look into every single human being on the planet and saying, do you get this? Do you understand this? Do you know what's going on? Because no, there's going to be normies for a long time, guys. I know we don't want to hear that, okay? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, there's still going to be normies on the planet. Okay? Maybe not as many, but there's still going to be some, because all of that keeps the balance. If we start looking at the bits and pieces of reality, we're going to find trouble. But when we zoom out and we zoom out and we zoom out and we see everything as a whole, we see, okay, here's some of the good people here that are aligning, they're awakening themselves up. Here's people that are starting to awaken. Here's people that are starting to ask questions. Here's people that are the normies. Here are the guys that were basically pulling a lot of the strings. But we see it all together as a whole, and we see that it's actually perfection. It's a perfection that's actually taking place. This perfection that's actually taking place is what's keeping the balance of everything representing life intact. So you will only truly understand perfection when you see the whole of everything. When you see the nature of wholeness, you realize that, again, things will live, things will die. Things will come, things will go. The cycle of the seasons will continue to flow. That as we come into the fall time, we see the leaves fall. As we come into the winter time, we see the cold rain upon the planet. As we come into the springtime, we see things blossom again. As we come into the summer, we see vitality continuing to shine. And this is, again, all part of not seeing one season at a time, but all 4 seasons together, and seeing how it balances everything together in that state of harmony. And it's that harmony itself that is the perfection. So when we look at the bits and pieces, guys, that's not what's going to show us what perfection is. If you're looking for trouble, you're going to find trouble. If you're looking for harshness, you're going to find harshness. But when you start zooming out, zooming out, zooming out, zooming out, and I see the whole sphere, there's perfection. There's balance. Because I see the wholeness of everything. And that is where perfection lies. Okay? Thank you again for your question. So one more question, guys, then we're going to go into Q&A, go into group healing. So please, no personal questions, guys. Let's save that for a session. Okay, here's a question here about Carrion, from Carrion. Is Table Mountain in South Africa an alien base, good or bad? No, it is not. I know because I've been there. I've stood on top of Table Mountain. It is not an alien base, okay? But it is the remains of an ancient tree, okay? There are what's known as world trees or silicone trees. And these trees existed a very, very long time ago, going back many thousands of years. And these trees were so incredibly large that they would almost touch the atmosphere. These are what I would refer to as world trees. And unfortunately, a lot of them got cut down because we had a lot of raiders coming here on the planet to basically rob a lot of the mineralization that was contained within these silicon trees. So basically, I was even dowsing at the top of Table Mountain, and the magnetic field there is incredibly powerful. Some people believe that a base is under there, but I was not able to detect any form of base. If anything, it would be more of a portal, okay? But it was not really a base. There are some places around the planet where we do have that, right? Cheyenne Mountain, for example, has a base there, okay? But not Table Mountain. Table Mountain is a very strong magnetic stronghold that once represented the trunk of an ancient world tree, a silicon tree, okay? So we have quite a few of those stumps all over the world. And these were the world trees. And they were so incredibly massive. They were thousands of feet tall, gigantic trees. And they were rich in mineral deposits. It's kind of like the movie Avatar, right? Where they would basically try and chop down the tree because they'd find mineral deposits on there. That's very true. That is exactly what happened to our world trees. Because we had world trees. We had silicon trees. And they would get cut down by, again, a lot of these mining civilizations. Some of them were reptilians, some of them were others. Kind of like raiders in that way. They would cut down these big trees, and they would basically just rob the minerals and resources that that tree was kept, that kind of kept on guard, so to speak, after it was being cut down. There was also, in that sense, the sign of different ages to come, more darker ages, when those trees were being cut down, because a lot of those trees were linking us into other dimensions, right? Earth was in a very, very high frequency when the world trees were intact, okay? I do not feel that in this dimension, no, we're not going to see those world trees again, which is unfortunate. On other Earths, they may exist. As we start to develop ourselves more with quantum technology, we may be able to observe other timelines where we can actually see those world trees intact. But it was very, very beautiful. Those world trees kept the higher heavens together in touch with the earth, and they were being deliberately cut down. Okay? So that's what I can share about that. But I was actually talking about that previously, because I went to South Africa in 2019. I stood right on top of Table Mountain. I was touching it right there. I was tapping into it, and I was asking those questions. Is there any base here? No, there's no base here. But the magnetic field is extremely strong. It could act much more like a portal system. I don't know if it's active, but the energies upon that Table Mountain is very, very powerful. I was there myself to feel it. It's a wonderful sensation. It's a beautiful space altogether. But a lot of people don't even know that it was a tree, that it's a tree stump. It's not a mountain, right? It's a tree stump. Okay, guys. Devil's Tower is another one. Yes, absolutely. That is another tree stump. There's also another one in Australia as well, too. There's quite a few different places around the world that just basically have these flat mountains, but they're not mountains. They're tree stumps. Devil's Tower, Table Mountain, okay? Those are two examples of stumps representing silicon trees that have been cut down, okay? World trees, exactly, as I call it, too. Those are very real, guys. They're very real. Same as Nephilim, same with giants. Okay, you go to South Africa, you see evidence of giants everywhere. You see evidence of dinosaurs. You see other prehistoric creatures as well, some things we couldn't even identify. Right? Michael Tallinger was taking me to a spot where we'd see like the giant footprint, and we'd actually see a giant's heart. And this heart was colossal, and that giant must have been hundreds of meters tall. It's phenomenal. Okay. A lot of stuff that we don't know about, guys, but we'll just have to see as time continues to progress. Maybe we'll have a lot more of this stuff revealed. So, guys, let's go ahead and switch gears, and let's go into group healing right now to end the session. All right. So we're going to do a collective clear ball technique. So again, right now, if you want to dedicate this healing to somebody else, go ahead and put that intention out right now towards that other person. Otherwise, all of this will be coming to you. Okay. So what I want you to do right now is just placing your hands together. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And if you're doing this for another person, just imagine that you're in their place and that you're doing this healing specifically for them. You're contributing it to them, okay? So put that intention out now. Okay, so now we're going to move our hands out, extend our hands, see a clear ball in between our hands, again, roughly around the same size of our heart. And now we're just putting that clear ball directly into the chest. Okay? And right now I want you to do a body scan of yourself. I want you to start off at the top of your head, going all the way down your body, down to the bottom of your feet, to feel any debris in the body, physical, emotional, mental, that you are noticing. Okay, as you notice that debris, we're going to do the apologetic affirmation together. So you can repeat after me. I apologize to my body for being neglectful regarding this condition. I ask for my body's forgiveness. I ask for Divine Spirit's forgiveness, as well as its assistance to clear away this condition and for it to be purified into divine forgiveness through the heart of Spirit. And so it is. Okay. So now I want you just to be aware of any area within your body that you feel like there was some debris, any form of stiffness, ache, sore, pain, emotional pain, mental pain, okay? Now I want you just to see them as kind of globs of black liquid, globs of dense black liquid, okay? And we're just seeing them again, kind of like bubbles, and they're just being gravitated like a magnetic force. Your thought is pulling them into the clear ball. So all these globs are just going directly into the clear ball, and they're just making this filler of liquid contained inside the clear ball. So just take a moment now to do this. Just gravitating those globs of dense black liquid, letting them be gravitated and placed directly into the clear ball. Okay, once that is done, we're now just pulling that clear ball out of the chest, holding it before us right now. Okay, and then we're going to do an affirmation because we want to embody forgiveness into ourselves. Okay, so you're just saying to yourself, I am true forgiveness. I am true forgiveness. Really mean it as you say it. I am true forgiveness. I am true forgiveness. I am true forgiveness. I am true forgiveness. And now I want you just to look at that ball that's in between your hands. And you're just saying to it, I forgive you. 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 And as that's happening, you're just moving the hands together so that they touch. Okay? So just keep saying that, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. Really be the embodiment of forgiveness. If you are not the embodiment of forgiveness, you won't be able to do this. This is why we're saying, I am true forgiveness. Be the embodiment of that. Okay? And I forgive you. And letting those hands touch. I will now connect with Spirit. Divine Mother God, I ask for your forgiveness to be applied to everyone that is performing this exercise with me right now, that has been able to bring themselves into forgiveness regarding their condition pertaining to pranic debris, karmic debris, errors, mistakes, and impurities. And through the Divine Mother's forgiveness, all impurities, all mistakes, all errors, all karmic debris, all pranic debris is now being completely released and brought into the purity of the divine forgiveness of the Mother God. Apply. All right. Blessings to everybody. Thank you very much. So again, know that Spirit is working with you. Know that Spirit is continuing to go into the body and clear out everything that is now in the alignment to be forgiven. Okay? And I'd like you guys to keep working with the prana transmission technique and working together with BCR technique as well too. Okay? If BCR technique feels like it's too much, go to prana transmission. Okay? Prana transmission is much simpler. Okay? So we don't have to go into the heart space. We do not have to do any visualization. We do not have to do any big affirmations. Okay? We're just working with the breath and we're taking out the inflammation surrounding a particular thought. Okay? Then we go into phase 2 and we bring all of that pure spirit loving energy, that prana of spirit, through the body, cleansing out the body entirely through the transmission of phase 2 of prana transmission. All right? So keep working with it. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of the week. Again, I'll be back in less than 2 weeks' time for the next New Earth Insights and, of course, New Earth TV Live. But I will be doing some more videos to come here as well, too, to be broadcast on this channel. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of the day. Blessings to you all. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaskar. Goodbye for now. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you can check out the websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can order a private session, 3 questions by email, EQ method, and a lot more. And you can also check out healingcodecards.com, where you can grab your mind deck, your body deck, and of course the brand new Body Deck Special Edition. All of these are available in digital editions as well. And you can also get a shirt just like this through healingcodeshop.com, where you can experience the healing codes in apparel form. So feel free to check out these websites. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Be well.